Chapter 6. Fill in the blanks. Trump doesn't just lie, he fills. You can catch him dead to rights, mid-lie, mid-scandal, mid-fucking disaster, and he will not pause, he will not slow, he will not acknowledge the wreckage behind him. He'll reach into thin air and pull out a scrap of something, a half-truth, a fantasy, a maybe it happened like this, and jam it into the hole. It's not elegant, it's not even convincing if you look too closely, but that's the beauty of it, nobody does. Why? Because it's never the main point. The scrap is never the star of the story. It's just enough mortar to hold the wall together until he's already moved you 3 rooms away, talking about the drapes and the view of how great the lighting is in here. By the time you remember there was even a hole, you've half convinced yourself it must have always been there. That's not sloppiness, that's not luck, that's skill, sharpened over decades of closing deals, dodging accountability, and keeping the momentum on his side. And I know exactly how it works because I've done it myself. The gray area. In sales, there's always a gray area, a space between what's actually true and what gets the deal done. The amateurs treat the gray area like a warning sign. They slow down, point to it, and expect the customer to leap it themselves. Most never make it across. The good salespeople try to build a bridge, but they make it obvious, a big clunky structure that the other person can see coming from a mile away. Crossing feels like work, and the moment you make a customer work, you risk losing them. The best erase the gap entirely. They pave over it so smoothly that you never notice that there was a canyon there in the first place. You walk right across without ever realizing you should have fallen. How I lived it. When I was pitching at work, the gray area was baked into every deal. I could go on for hours about how great the company was, the resources, the reach, the things we could do for you. What I never mentioned, what lived it squarely in that gray area, was the part where we'd stiff you on invoices, drag out the payment process, bury you in terms of service so deep you need scuba gear to come back up. Sure, we'd pay you fast once you cleared every hoop, hurdle, and obstacle course we set up in front of you, but why bring that up? If someone started sniffing around the gap, my job wasn't to defend it, my job was to make it vanish right there in real time. I plaster over it with something else, redirect, distract, overwhelm, keep them focused on parts of the deal that make them feel good, dance over around it, through it, whatever it took to keep their momentum pointed at yes, where it comes from. People think this is about raw confidence or cold calculation. It's not. It's about knowing how the system really works, the unspoken rules, the hidden levers, and the dirty shortcuts. Once you've seen behind the curtain, you start using the same tricks the people in power use on you. You recognize that this isn't a nice guy game, it's a predator's table. And if you're sitting there, you either learn to hunt or you get eaten. Yeah, it's manipulation. I'm not pretending it's pure, but I'm telling you, this is the part of the game that needs burning down if you want a clean world. And you can't burn it down without first understanding exactly how it works. When someone sees it coming. Every now and then you run into someone just as sharp as you, someone listening for every word, not because they're interested, but because they're hunting you. They're looking for the stumble. They're waiting for the crack in the wall. That's when it turns into Star Wars, lightsabers, up. You have to be faster, cleaner, sharper. You have to parry every question, redirect every jab, and never let them plant their feet. Humor can work, charm can work, aggression can work, but you can't give them a clean shot at the gray area or they'll drive a spear through it. Is it lying? Not if I believe in what I'm saying. That's the difference between the scumbags and the rest of us. The scumbags sell what they know is garbage. I sell what I can stand behind. But I also know that if I hand you the gray area, you'll fixate on it. You'll let it grow in your mind until it swallows the rest of the deal. My job is to make sure you never get the chance. Comfort in the gray. I'm comfortable there, not because I've lived some perfectly honest life, but because I've spent enough time on those sides of the game to know how it works. I've been the one laying down the smooth payment, and I've been the one trying to follow a story that suddenly skipped over something important. That familiarity makes it home turf. When the filler comes back. If a filler detail pops back up later, by that point I've already won you over. We've built rapport, you know my kid's name, we've laughed, you've decided I'm one of the good ones. So when that moment comes, I can just look at you and say, I'll get back to you on that. Is that going to kill the deal? You say no, and it's dead. You won't think about it again. Story versus feeling. Here's the real secret. Controlling the story is the same thing as controlling the feeling. People remember how you made them feel longer than they remember the details. If you own the feeling, you own the story. You want to master this? Put yourself in uncomfortable situations and fight your way out. Go to car dealerships, sit through job interviews, go places where you can't take no for an answer. Drive towards the close no matter what they say. Bulldoze if you have to. And when you do that enough, the filler starts coming naturally. It's not a conscious time to lie moment. It's instinct. You don't have the instinct. This game will eat you alive. This isn't just sales. This is big business. This is CEO survival mode. Beating it. Here's the bad news. You won't catch Trump in the gray area unless you make him stop. You have to force him to see it, force him to stand in it, make him look down at it, make him sit in it, make him take a shit in it, and then rub his fucking face in it, his whole fucking face in it, like a bad puppy from the 1980s. That's the only way you break the spell. You stop the pacing, you drag him back to the exact spot he paved over, you point at it until there's nowhere else for him to go. Most people can't keep the story alive without that bridge. Take it away, the whole thing collapses. And when it does, don't just walk away, rub their fucking nose in it, make them smell it, make them choke on the stink. Because if you don't, they'll just rebuild the bridge and walk you right back across it again.